126-pounders. We've got Cody Bonham, the senior for Lexington. For Hillcrest, I believe we've got Jeremy Higgins in there.
And this is a key matchup. Hillcrest is currently ranked number 5 at this weight, while Lexington's ranked number 3. I know the Lexington kid, he's a pretty hard-nosed kid, straight-ahead kid. He was sporting a big black eye earlier in the week. Likes to get in there and battle. But this Hillcrest kid, I believe, is pretty tough, too. And nice pass by attempt by Hillcrest. Doesn't score, they go out of bounds.
Jeremy Higgins for Hillcrest. And the gray and red with the Rams logo on the back. Cody Bonham for Lexington.
Both these wrestlers are hand fighting hard, looking for an opening. They've both tried pass bys so far. Try and unbalance their opponent. Get a quick 2.
Out of bounds they go, so back to the center circle.
And that's the thing about these teams. Both of these teams are very good at holding correct position, and that makes it very, very difficult to score. You've got to get your opponent out of position to have the opportunity to score, and they're fighting with their hands. They're using their heads to get position, and they're staying square up. It's going to take a very good setup to get a takedown here.
Both teams very well coached. Tommy Bell for Hillcrest, Derek Strobel for Lexington. And both head coaches have wonderful assistants to support them as well. And as you mentioned, a great feeder program over at Lexington.
I'm not really sure what Hillcrest has in the way of a feeder program, but year after year they have tough teams, and they seem like they don't rebuild as much as reload. And Lexington, excellent feeder system, and I think they're going to be good to go for the next several years with the kids that they got coming up.
Both Hillcrest and Lexington making their 3rd appearance in the state championship here today. Of course, Hillcrest, the defending champs, knocked off Lexington a year ago. This is the rematch.
And I'm really not expecting to see a takedown here. Both wrestlers are solid in their position and fighting hard. I think this is probably going to go to the mat and be decided there.
Collar and elbow now going low is Lexington and Cody Bonham. And again, nice wide base here for Jeremy Higgins and Hillcrest with 12 seconds remaining. Higgins looking for a front headlock position. Not going to get it. And the officials rule them out of bounds with 5 seconds remaining.
Nice. Didn't have enough time.
So we'll move into the second period.
Hillcrest has choice, and they're deferring, which I find surprising, since the person who scores first has an advantage if you go into the 4th overtime. So Lexington's taking neutral. Wants to be on his feet again.
Cody Bonham for Lexington. Looked like he was going to try to go for a shoot, but staying upright. Now he goes down.
Yeah, he took a decent shot, but his head was to the middle instead of the outside on that double, and that drove his head into the mat, made it difficult for him to finish. Hillcrest did a good job of getting his hips down on top and countering out. Both these wrestlers need to have a little bit more lateral motion and work on their setups a little bit better so they can get a little deeper shot, get to the legs.
Still no score in this match, and we're in the second period. Both wrestlers just really trying to look for a small crease somewhere. Neither wrestler allowing the other to give an inch. Been really a defensive battle right now.
Yes, it has. I think it's gonna whoever makes the first major mistake is gonna give up the points.
Cody Bonham for Lexington, pushing on Jeremy Higgins from left to right. Now Higgins looking for some extra leverage. Bonham switches over the hands. Looked for the shoot, not there.
And Lexington right now is controlling the center of the mat. They have Hillcrest with his heels back towards the out of bounds. You know, neither wrestler is probably going to be able to score there. They're too close to the out of bounds. They need to try and keep the action in the center a little bit more. And I think that might be what the official was discussing with them.
And then collar and elbow.
You know, and maybe they should be using some snaps here, arm snaps, head snaps, to try and unbalance each other. And once again, Lexington just kind of dove in without setting up the shot. Not a very good attempt. It's going to have trouble scoring on a quality wrestler like this Hillcrest kid doing that.
Second period comes to a close and still no score in this match.
Hillcrest had choice and they've chosen down.
Looking to break the ice here in the third period.
Oh, no, they've chosen to go neutral. I thought Hillcrest had choice, and he's choosing down. Lexington thought he had choice, and he wanted to be on his feet. Oh, no, they're saying Lexington has choice, and he's choosing.
Because Hillcrest deferred.
Right, I thought they did, maybe not. They're apparently
period.
saying that he didn't, and that Lexington had choice, and Lexington chose him to be on his feet. So unless we see some better setups here,
majority of this match has been fought upright.
Right.
With the wrestlers on their feet.
And notice they're pushing back and forth into each other, and they're not really creating an angle of attack. For leg attacks, you really want to try and create an angle and come in a little bit off to the side. Gives you a better opportunity to get to the leg deep and score. And they're just going back and forth. And it's hard to get to a guy's legs when he's actually backing away from you.
Time now at 1:20, and still no score. Possibly looking at an overtime situation, and that's when these wrestlers can come up with a point.
And that was a big call right there. They called Lexington or Hillcrest for stalling and gave Lexington a point, as that was the second stall call, and that was huge.
Point for both wrestlers now, so we finally have points on the board with 1:10 remaining here in the match. Now Cody Bonham is going to try to pick up some points here if he can turn his opponent. Swinging around from right to left. And now they'll return to the neutral position. Stalemate call there. 38 seconds left. Now Hillcrest going for the shot.
Front headlock by Lexington. Hillcrest is looking to drag out, trying to stay square and not let him get behind.
Bonham looking for
an
extra push, but it looks like this one might be going into overtime here.
You got to give credit to both wrestlers for really holding position and staying square with each other, not giving the other wrestler an opportunity to get behind. And I think you're right. I think we'll be going to an overtime.
Only 7 seconds remaining. So we'll go to overtime, sudden death. First wrestler that picks up a point in a minute will be declared the winner.
And Hillcrest has already given up a stall point, so they're in danger of picking up another one if they're not active.
You could lose the match right here on a stall point.
Right.
So now Cody Bonham is going to have to be careful that he doesn't get the stall point, but he pops right back up off the mat. Good job by the Lexington wrestler. Our first overtime of the Class 4A state championship.
Shot attempt by Hillcrest, not very good, and it looks like Lexington might score here, and they do.
Yep, he gets the takedown in overtime. Lexington picks up the decision.
Big win for Lexington there.
That's huge. That is huge. That makes the score 10-3 as we move to the 132-pound classification, and Cody Bonham just kept sticking with it. Finally, in overtime, he overcomes Jeremy Higgins.